a civil war between the Sunni and the Shia in Iraq, and American forces were pretty much caught in between. Now, that's not going to happen in Iran. Iran, mostly Christian and some other religions thrown in there, a few Sunni Muslims, but mostly the top leadership is Shia. So the Shia believe that they are the direct inheritors of Muhammad's line, right? So the Sunni are like, they're kind of like, we're just, in middle of the road. We just follow the religion, follow the teachings of Muhammad, follow the Quran, and the 5 pillars of, wisdom or whatever they follow in Islam. Not to detract from anything that either one of those groups has, but I can tell you, after fighting the Shia in Iraq, and all the people that I'm going to start to name, Hamas, Hezbollah, and both Shia, all right, Shia leadership within Iran, Shia coming into from Iran, coming into Iraq and causing mayhem. The Iranians sent in improvised explosives to start blowing up everybody, not just American and coalition forces, but even Sunni Muslims. Right. So it is a turning point, I believe. The Shia domination, a very small number, percentage-wise, of Muslims have been controlling the entire Muslim, pretty much all of not necessarily controlling them, but influencing on a very negative level a lot of the Muslims throughout the Arab world, and of course here in America and so forth. So these extremists, ISIS, Shia, on and on and on, guys. Al-Baghdadi was ISIS, and Shia. So the Shia, have this idea that, because they're direct descendants in their minds of Muhammad, that they deserve to rule over everybody else. And if you're non-Muslim, then you don't have any say and you can be killed. No problem, right? So these are the problems that we're seeing. Now the Shia, I'm not saying that Sunni are like blameless whatsoever, but the Shia are the really ones, and I used to call them the shits. I didn't call them the Shia, I called them the shits when I was in, because they were filthy, right? Savages, beheading people, and they still do it, right? So they're a disgrace and a bane on humanity. They need to be, basically either exterminated completely, or someone needs to take control of them and put them in their place. All right. So that's what President Trump is doing right now, and the pretty much United States and Israel. So Israel has obviously a very significant, the second greatest air force in the world, as they call them, the military, our military. That's because they've been built up by the number one military air force, so forth in the world, United States. So today, Netanyahu came out with what he's saying is historic message to the people of Iran. In a direct English language address, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told the Iranian people that their liberation is at hand and urged them to seize the opportunity to end decades of tyranny. So he issued a powerful and direct message to the citizens of Iran on Tuesday, framing the current military campaign as a historic war for freedom. And I agree, not just for Iran, but for the rest of the world from this Shia Muslim insanity, right? That's been, imposing itself all around the world, right? And obviously backed up by the deep state, which loves insanity, loves, people that do horrific things. So that this is what we're seeing. So they, the Shia, who are their ultimate controllers, right? So that's probably the British, and the deep staters, right? All right, so Prime Minister reached out to the Iranian street, assuring them that the joint Israeli-American operations are focused solely on the targets of the regime rather than civilian population. Netanyahu characterized the current moment as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, definitely for, people usually live about 40, 50 years, sometimes 60. So we're at 47 years of this madness that took over Iran, the Shia Muslims, right? So, and then they started to, export all of their atrocities and, evil all around the Arab Israeli world, all right? So that's where we're at. So he promised that the help has arrived and that conditions for the Iranian people to take charge of their own destiny are being created in real time through the systematic destruction of the Ayatollah's Shia power centers, right? So I'm going to walk you guys through, because I've been studying this for a long time, because I was in this stuff for a long time. I had friends killed throughout this time frame by these shits, right? The Shia, right? The Sunni-Shia Muslim divide, why it matters in the Iran war. The divide between the Sunni and Shia Muslims is one of the most discussed and often most misunderstood issues in global politics. It's very simple. The Shia are radical savages, right? And they try, like I said, to impose their will on everybody else. And the Sunni will push back. Like the Saudis and, of course, Saddam Hussein. Now, the Sunnis in Iraq were not as numerous as the Shia, so it was Saddam had to rule with an iron fist to keep them under control. Of course, they got a lot of help from Iran, and the Kurds didn't like them either. Didn't like the Sunni, stronghold. Saddam Hussein gassed them, chemical weaponed them, all kinds of crazy stuff, but Kurds were able to maintain, fortunately. All right, so so the split began in 632, following the death of the Prophet Muhammad. The central question at the time was regarding a succession plan. One group believed the leader should be chosen by consultation among the Prophet's companions. That would be the Sunni. They supported Abu Bakr, a friend and early follower of Muhammad. This group later became known as Sunnis, from al-Ahi al-Sunnah. I'm sorry if I'm probably butchering the heck out of it, but meaning people of the tradition. All right. A second group believed leadership should stay within the Prophet's family. They supported Ali, Muhammad's cousin and son-in-law. This group became known as Shia, so meaning Party of Ali. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. But both sides disagree on who should be in leadership realm and so forth. But the Sunni dominate. If you look at it as far as like numbers, the Sunni are much more prolific, right? And the Shia, being absolute savages, like I say, dominate, peaceful, because Muhammad taught the Muslims to be peaceful, right? It's the religion of peace, but it's not very peaceful, is it? No, not at all. All right, it's probably one of the most savage, warlike, groups in the history of Earth, as far as religions go. All right, Christianity being number 2, and of course the Jews being number 3 from the Muhammad or from the Abraham religions. So all 3 descendants from the Abraham religion. And, you can take lots of different things from them. There's all kinds of different sects from each one of them. I think I saw at some point the Christian sects were like 1,000 plus or something crazy. I don't know. So, there's all kinds of different groups that say all kinds of different things. It's not just Catholics and Protestants. There's many multiples within all of them, right? So, a lot of people don't agree, but and sometimes they war against each other like they did, in medieval times. France would come over, or no, is it the church, Catholic Church in Rome would come over and, tell some of the French to, you go fight these guys and annihilate them, and you'll be cool with us, right? So the French would massacre each other just like we're seeing right now with the Shia and the Sunni, right? So it is one of those things that's been going on for a long time. I think the Christians have calmed down. The Jews have calmed down even more because they've been around a little bit longer. So it takes time for these new religions to come in, and they're very brutal in the beginning, like Islam was. It tried to dominate the whole world, still trying to dominate the whole world. But we're seeing them, at least the Sunni, to a certain extent, seem to be calming down and following what the religion was supposed to be about, peace, right? So I don't know, guys. It's very, very mixed up. You can't put your finger on any one thing, but the thing you can know is that the Shia are extremely violent, right? And like I said, that has to be squashed, right? And that's what the American and Jewish groups are doing right now, squashing that violence at its source, right? So we'll see what happens with this. I think it's probably going to spread. You basically step on a pile of poop and it's going to like squirt all out, right? So that's what's happening right now in Iran. So that pile of poop is squirting out all around that foot. So not very, very nice. It's not going to smell very good, and it's going to like pollute, and it's going to be very smelly all over the world until we clean all that up. So somebody's got to clean it up, and I guess the Americans are going to be like doing it. We seem to be doing the dirty work, throughout history, cleaning up everybody else's mess in World War I, World War II. So here we go. We're finally doing what we should have done long ago, right? So President Trump is the only one that's had the cojones to go on and do this like it should have been done quite a long time ago. So anyway, that's where we're at. All Khomeini, Supreme Leader, Al-Sistani, the Grand Ayatollah, Nam Qassem, Hezbollah leader, all senior Shia leaders, right? All of them. And I'm going to talk, like I said, I'm going to talk about this because I've had direct experience with a lot of these Shia. I'll be nice and say Shia radicals, okay? Radical Islam, that's a Shia, right? Iran says they will decide when the war is over, not the U.S. Sounds like what Saddam Hussein said many years ago. And, he said this is going to be the mother of all battles and mother of all wars and all that kind of stuff. Let's listen to Saddam Hussein way back in 1991, the first Gulf War. What did he have to say?
Brothers and sons, this battle that we are facing today is the mother of all battles. It is the battle in which truth confronts falsehood, justice confronts aggression, and faith confronts disbelief. All
right, so that war, he would survive, although he would get spanked, and his country got spanked pretty hard in the first Gulf War. The second Gulf War, basically we came in and we decimated them pretty quickly. Within 9 months of that war starting, he was pulled out of a hole in the ground and he surrendered, and then he was brought back, and a few years later he was hung, right? So do the Iraqis think they have it better? If you ask the Kurds, they say, heck yeah, of course, because he chemical weaponed them and, decimated them on a massive scale. Would the Shia say that they have it better? No, because the Sunnis are pretty much in power and they're running the country. So no, the Shia aren't too happy. Sunnis, the Sunnis were part of or part of the old establishment. They like the good old days when they were like, the kings, and almost like kings and queens. They ruled. They had all the money. Everything came to them, and the Shia were suppressed. So things have turned around. Pretty much the Shia and the Sunni, neither one of them really like, the current, situation in Iraq. They say that, it was better, which I'm like, okay. I mean, it's your country. These people are very confused, very, very confused, right? Very emotional, like I've showed you guys, and they're kept that way. Very low emotional IQ, which basically you can have the highest IQ in the world, but if you have a low emotional IQ, you're shit, right? And that's unfortunate for a lot of Muslims because they're kept in low IQ, low EQ, emotional quotient. So intelligence. So this is the way that system of religion runs. It's not very analytical. It's very emotional. Your emotions run, and they love that. It's a very religious. So religion is more in the intuitive brain than it is in the analytical brain. They're not very smart, all right? And if you look at math and so forth, not very smart there. They don't create much. They basically take from everybody else that creates, all right? So they're very good at art. They have beautiful art because that's the intuitive, creative side. They're very creative in, lying. They're very creative in, fighting and so forth, because you got to be very creative back. So that's what, having been a former Navy SEAL and then the CIA, I was very, very, I'm very creative and have a very high emotional and IQ. So I everywhere I went, I could figure it out really quickly, and we overwhelmed them, right? So I guess they need to be educated. I don't know. So educated in real education, because their education is shit, right? All they're taught is religion in their school system, and they even complain that we're not taught anything that's of value that we can use once we graduate from these colleges that are basically just religious teachings. But here in America and Britain, even today, even education is going downhill massively. So a lot of people that I dealt with that were educated in the West usually were very easy to work with, very good people. In a lot of places, they ran their country. They ran the country. They had the on below where the clerics and all the other people that were really in charge, but everybody else that was educated in the West would come in and run the businesses and keep everything going. If they got ran off, then everything just started to collapse. Kind of the same thing you see in Democrat states, right? So I see an extreme similarity with the mindset and the educational system of the Muslims with a lot of people that are Democrat, right? Almost identical, right? The way they run business and politics and all kinds of stuff, complete stupidity, right? So we're seeing that, their cities are collapsing where they have that. And if you look at Dubai and some of these other places, they have brought in very informed, very strategic people. They enslave people. They bring in people from a lot of other countries, Philippines, and some other, Indonesia and so forth, to do all the work. And because they don't work, and a lot of those countries, they just have the Filipino slaves. That's all they can do because they don't work. All right, they don't. It's just the way it is. All right. All right, so I'm not going to go too much into that. You can do your research on that. If you've ever been over there, you see exactly what I'm talking about. So, is there anything good going to come out of that? Yes, if the Christian Iranians basically rise to power yes, but otherwise, no. Now, everywhere I've been, Pakistan, the Muslims basically suppress the Christians because the Christians basically, if they get a chance, they basically excel. It's the same thing with the Jews. The Jews, every time they get a chance, they get a shot because they're smart. They're smart people. They're great business people. They have excellent IQs. They have excellent emotional quotient. Maybe not as good as a lot of Americans. I don't know. I'm still undecided about that because I get a lot of people that are my friends that are Jewish, and they seem a little bit EQ might be a little hurting, right? So they get a little emotional because you see them all the time. When they get pushed back on, people talk out and say that the Jews are like, running America, which is complete bullshit. They're just, if they're Jewish and they're in a position of power, it's because they help each other out, and Americans can overcome that by just, becoming merit-based like the Jewish tradition is. Very merit-based, and they help each other, rise to the top. Now, everybody wants to argue with that. I don't care. It is whatever you want to make it, but logic and emotional IQ will basically guide you to the point where anyone that has really good merit should be rising to the top. And if it's Asian, which a lot of colleges push out the Asians now because they're so smart, right? So they don't want Asians in the colleges now. It's like, why? To me, it's like, same thing, merit-based. And if the Asians are rising to the occasion, they work hard and they focus and, duh. So that's one of the problems that we have with, people that think that, things should be run a certain way. The only way they should be run is if someone's got the merit, they should rise at the top, right? Now, I've seen, in a lot of institutions that I've been involved with, especially the CIA, parts of the military and so forth, not all of them, but parts of it, where non-merit-based people seem to rise to higher levels. And I've seen that in the FBI. I've seen that in some local police forces and so forth, because the deep state doesn't want people that are smart. They want people they can control and manipulate. So a lot of times they'll put in people that are absolute horrific, right? Like just recently, we saw one of the J6 Capitol policemen was just convicted of 6 or 8 counts of felonies and so forth, was intoxicating women and raping them. So and he was the guy that got an award, of course. So these are the types of people that the deep state wants to move up. So that's not merit-based, obviously. That is manipulated control. And you see that very, very prominently within the Shia organizations. You see that very prominently within, the Democrat. And I'm not going to pick on the Democrats. I'm going to say Uniparty from now on. You see that very prominently within the Uniparty because there are some good people, 1 or 2 in the Democrat Party, and then a bunch within the Republican Party. But there's a lot of rhinos that side with the bad Democrats, which are most of them. So that's what I see. I just call it out how I see it. And I know a lot of you guys agree. And if you don't, do the research yourself and find out, right? Find out for yourself. Do critical research, critical thinking. So Iran, do you think they're going to determine who's going to be in charge? Do you think Saddam Hussein, with his boasting, it's going to be the mother of all wars and so forth, is do you think that that raw, stupid, emotional, stuff that they say, you think that's has any kind of wisdom? I see wisdom when I see the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, come out and make his comments, and then you see Dan raising Cain, the top military leader. He rose through merit, guys. He's absolutely the person that should be in that position. Fantastic man. All right. So it's very encouraging to see people like that rise, and just look at that. I mean, in the past, I've seen complete buffoons that have been admirals and generals. I'm like, how the hell they get there? Because they're manipulatable. right? They're stupid. They can't make good decisions, so they're told what to do and what to say, and they do that. And then they just keep rising them up. All right, you're stupid and you're manipulable. We're going to make you the top general. And we've seen that over and over again. So Trump has been trying his best to clean that up and get those deep state, senior military people out. Now, do you think that, like in the FBI, where we got rid of Comey, now a lot of people are, I remember Sean Hannity, it's just the top 1%. I'm like, Sean, you don't even know what you're talking about. You have never worked with the FBI, have you? Right? So it is embedded all the way deep down in the FBI. I say the FBI, they're good people. Yes, they're good people in the CIA. I work with them. But to keep those organizations going, that's bullshit, right? Because neither one of them are merit-based. Give them a chance and they're going to turn against us again. They turn against we the people, right? So FBI lie, all right? All right. So they're going to lie to us and manipulate us every chance they get. Look at Dan Bongino and Kash Patel when they were asked about, what happened to Jeffrey Epstein? Oh, he's dead. And both of them said that they're going to reveal about that. And both of them lied in front of us, right? So whatever reason, some of these people are going to lie to us. Maybe it's part of what we have to go through. Maybe we have to figure it out ourselves. I knew all along. The moment I heard that Jeffrey Epstein was dead, I was like, no, he's not dead. Either the bad guys got him and got him out of there, or the good guys, which I believe got him out of there, and they are controlling that. And I think that they turned Jeffrey Epstein many years before that. And that's how they have all this information on these guys. So anyway, no, Iran is not going to decide how this battle is going to end. The people are. So we're trying to get even Netanyahu, which a lot of people don't like him, but I don't particularly care for him myself. But he's useful right now, isn't he? Yeah. So sometimes that happens. You get these useful people. You let them stay in power because they're manipulable by the good side, and we can at least depend on them to do what we're getting them to do, which is they're doing a great job of taking down the Shia jackasses. All right, so we're going to continue to see that. We're going to continue to see Israel hammer Hezbollah, maybe get them to the point where Lebanon can kick them the hell out of there completely. The Shia are running almost pretty much. It used to be mostly Christian. So the same thing with Iran, mostly peaceful, beautiful, great food, great countryside in Lebanon. And then you get these Shia assholes come in and start to take over. So they need to get kicked out. They need to get squashed and kicked out. The same thing needs to happen in Palestine. They need to be squashed and kicked out. And then the Palestinians can have, great seaside resorts and, tourism and so forth. And, they'll all be happy and rich. Right. So that's a promise for them. Same thing in Cuba. So Cuba is right on the verge of collapsing. And then we're going to have, free and fair trade going on with Cuba. We're going to have tourism going on there like crazy. I'm going to be on one of the first flights to go to Cuba when it gets freed up. So it's going to be magnificent. So it's going to happen. It's going to happen around the world, guys. But we have to take down these Shia jackasses. All right. We need to start focusing on that. And if we got some Sunni Muslim assholes, they need to be taken out too, right? Or some Jewish assholes I don't know, maybe Netanyahu, need to be taken out too. So all the assholes go bye-bye soon, right? At some point, they all go. At maybe some level, they're being useful idiots for us, or for the good guys, right? The white hat military. But at some point, they have to stop. Maybe they'll be able to, in Cuba, they're like, oh yeah, Castro family, you can stay. We're not going to do anything to you. I don't know about the people, but they're gonna be able to stay. So it's gonna transition, guys. Cuba's gonna transition probably really soon. They have no power. Trash is piling up on the streets because there's no gas there, because basically we won't let Venezuela give them free gas anymore, pretty much. So the Cubans were basically like Venezuela's slaves. All right. So they were like running everything. That's probably not happening anymore. So all of this is turning around, and it's turning around in a good way. All right. So let me break down just how bad these Shia are. You guys keep hearing me. How can you be so potty mouthed about the Shia? Well, let me show you. All right. Let me show you. All right. I have lots of reasons. All right. One of them is a couple of my steel buddies hung from bridges. All right. So graphic content. This was a pivotal moment that changed the Iraq War.
War began. These violent scenes remain a defining moment of the US-led invasion. On March the 31st, 2004, 4 US civilian security contractors drove into the city of Fallujah, tasked with protecting catering trucks. Masked insurgents ambushed them using rocket-propelled grenades and AK-47 rifles and dragged their bodies through the streets.
All right, so one of my buddies, Scotty Helveston, SEAL, former SEAL, that was working for Blackwater like me, doing security work. He was one of the guys, and he and another SEAL were a couple of the guys were in the vehicles that were escorting these vehicles. All right, so they got ambushed, and my buddy Scotty, from what I heard, the other vehicle was ambushed, and they were in a circle, so they came back to help them, and then they unfortunately the crowd was too much, and one of those things, never leave a buddy behind. Well, sometimes it might be smart to do that when there's no help. You're going to die trying to go back and help them. So that's what happened with him, unfortunately. So they were shot. The cars burned. So their bodies were, burned. They were dragged through the streets, kicked. The Iraqis have this thing where if they take their shoe or their foot and they make contact with you, that's a great insult. So you had little kids, that were like, taking their shoes and, hitting their bodies, or they're being dragged through the streets. And then they took them to the Fallujah Bridge and they hung them there. So it was not long after that U.S. military came in and hammered the hell out of Fallujah, right? And it needed to happen. So here's the pictures. So again, hide your eyes. I remember when I was a little kid, they used to hide my eyes in the horror scene. So this is pretty much one of those. If you got little kids around, they don't need to see this. So here's the guys who are hanging from the ridge, right? So not pretty, right? But look at all these kids involved, right? They're all laughing, having a good time. They probably, strap bombs to those kids, and once they were blown up, then they got basically a stipend sent to their families for the rest of their lives, and that's the way they run things. That's why they Muslims are like spitting out kids. One is so they can use them to be terrorists. So when they blow themselves up or get stuck in prison, the families get a stipend. And also, if they overpopulate in a Democrat area, they can outvote everybody and take over and turn everything into Shia law. Shiite law. So it's not good. These guys are out of control. They need to be, stopped. And we've been stopping them. They got stomped hard in Fallujah. Now the Shia cleric, there were Shia clerics that were getting their information from Iran, right? And during Fallujah, and there was one Shia cleric. I can't remember his name. See if I can find it. There's got a bunch of stuff pulled up here. So I don't see it. So if I remember, I'll bring it up. Abu Bakr, I think was his name, something like that. But he was a cleric, and he was basically running the show. I'm surprised the guy survived. I think the military wanted to take him out, but they were told not to because he was running the horror show that was going on in Fallujah. So Fallujah, a lot of SEAL combat during that time frame. A lot of heroes made. A lot of heroes in a bad way, where they jumped on grenades and all kind of crazy stuff. So and then you saw their bodies come back, and then the guys were like, hammer their tridents on the coffin. So we had a lot during that time frame. So yes, I have some real problems with the Shia. All right. So so it came from Ayatollah Ali al-Sistani, who was Iraq's most revered Shia cleric. All right. So remember, Shia, shit. Right. Sistani's statements during the conflict were significant. He called for unity and resistance against ISIL, mobilizing support for the Iraqi forces. Various militia leaders influenced by clerical rhetoric, right? I would see them on Friday where they went to the mosque. Friday is their holy day. Saturday is the Jewish, and Sunday is the Christian of the Abrahamic religion. So that's their day, and they would go to the mosque and they get all fired up and they come out blowing people up and shooting and all kind of crazy stuff. So I saw this throughout the Middle East, guys. Throughout the Middle East, right? Wherever the Shia were, right? And Pakistan. They would go into, their mosque, and they come out, and Friday's like, okay, get ready, guys. Here he comes. And that's usually when I would see things a week in advance. I'd say, okay, there's going to be an attack on this road at this time, and sure enough. So, my analytical side and my intuitive side were cranking, keep us alive. You guys remember I had the one little incident with Archangel Michael. That was Zarqawi. So Zarqawi was Saddam Hussein's top guy, who was supposed to come out and do, turn everybody against each other. So here is now this is one of the freaky things. This is when I started to get very intuitive, and all kind of crazy stuff started to happen after my experience with Archangel Michael. So I saw this guy, Zarqawi, a year before they identified him as the problem, as causing the civil war and rallying the guerrilla warfare against the coalition forces and so forth. I saw him through meditation, doing the remote view thing, and then I went against him, and then his demon came off and chased me back to my body, and then the next night I woke up floating out of my body, and it's like, oh, I'm dead. Unfortunately, I thought I was having an out-of-body experience. Then Archangel Michael intervened, because I was like, right at the point where I can help humanity. So back in my body, back in time, and then from that point on, I had these crazy abilities to see into the future, see the attacks before they're happening, keep my group from getting blown up and shot and so forth, and going after guys like Zarqawi. And surrounding them with love, making their demonic force that was on them less able to control and the environment they're in and so forth. So it was Gold Team guys told me later, because I work with them in Pakistan and some other places, in Afghanistan. A couple different Gold Team guys told me, SEAL Team 6, Gold Team, Gold Squadron. They told me that, they had done a missile strike on Zarqawi's compound, and they did a laser target designator. So they came in, they did LTD on it, and then a bomb came in, and then they came in and identified his remains, and then, okay, that's definitely him. He's done. So that is, that was the beginning of me, doing that over and over and over again. The people that were causing the most problems, I would focus on them and then take them out. I've talked about this many times, so I'm not going to go into detail about it, but he's a Shia. He's a Shia guy, right? So he started the insurgency against U.S. troops, and he turned it into a Shia-Sunni civil war. So he's the guy, and they called him Sheikh of the Slaughterers, right? Great name, right? But they were. They slaughtered people. You saw them like cutting heads off people, all kind of crazy stuff. So that's a Shia, right? The shits. So Baghdadi, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, eventually would assume the role as the leader of ISIS, ISIL, whatever they wanted to call them at the time. I was in Iraq at the time, several tours in Iraq. I'd been in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Lebanon, Libya. I was all over the place, right? So I saw all this stuff. I had the ability to see a lot of this craziness that was going on out there, right? So it was basically, like I keep saying, it's the Shia that's the problems, right? For most part. All right, so al-Baghdadi, I remember being in Iraq, and I was like, why don't we take this guy out? And for whatever reason, right, I think they wanted him to stay there because he was causing a lot of problems, keeping the war going. When Donald Trump came in, he went right after al-Baghdadi, right, and took him out. Well, al-Baghdadi supposedly took himself out, and a dog was chasing him down an underground tunnel. And a dog, huh? Or was it a cryptid? So I don't know. So and I remember President Trump. So I guess he was being chased by the dogs, and he blew himself up before the dog could get him. It's okay. And so President Trump had the dog at the White House. Said, "This is the dog that chased him down the tunnel. He was wounded. That dog didn't look wounded to me." So those of you guys that know the Dog Man story, I think there might have been some involvement there. So I don't know. They're very good at going into the tunnel systems. I guess they did that in Vietnam, all kind of crazy stuff. There's lots of different crazy stories out there. Kind of like my crazy stories of like, sending love to like people and then they like go bye-bye. Do you guys believe that? Some of you guys don't, but it magically happened, right? I'm a magic man. So, so my wife's in the background when you met me.
That's when it all started.
That's when it all started. She said, okay. How Iraqis view life after the fall of Saddam 20 years ago today. So like I said, you have all these different groups that are like, yeah, it's not as good. And, when it first happened, they're all like, yay. Half of them were good for it and half of them were against it. 50% were like, yay, he's gone. And then 49% were like, oh. So it's, like I said, they don't know what the fuck's going on. So, hopefully they'll get some good education and figure it out. So Saddam Hussein was a Sunni Muslim. He led a Sunni-dominated regime in Iraq from 1979 until his overthrow in 2003, right? So he was ruthless, had to be ruthless because, the Shia were very ruthless. So he was even more so. And so that was the way that's the way it was. Now, the Sunnis in Saudi Arabia, like I said, they're mostly peaceful. They don't like to work. They don't like to fight. But they have to sometimes. So the Saudis, being Sunnis, are having to go against the Yemenis, right? Who are Shia, backed by Iran, right? So they're having a hell of a time. They should have just like taken care of that. In America, they've been fighting them for like, I don't know, a decade now, something crazy. Like, how does it? Well, we know how it works. Because you just keep things going because you don't want to do the right thing. So, Muslims don't like to fight other Muslims. It's like, guys, if you got crazy assholes that are running the show and going to dominate you, you got to like take them out. So it's so weird, It's like they'll slaughter each other on certain days, both going against each other. They'll slaughter each other for like a week or so, and then they'll like get along. It's like, you guys are strange, right? So you guys need to figure this out. You need to just come together and kumbaya. But they have long-term, like you killed my 1,000 years ago. You killed my best friend's mother or something crazy, so I have to kill you. It's like, what? Like that's the way they think. It's just crazy thinking, guys. I don't know what's going to fix it. I don't know. But one thing that has to happen is the Shia have to be controlled, have to be stomped, right? This is, and the Sunnis are like, please do that. We were not going to support that, but please do that. And the Christians are all over there to get slaughtered all the time. They're like, God, please, somebody's finally going to do this. So it's happening. It's happening right now. But will the peace-loving Iranians who are, they'll go in the streets and they'll act like they're fighting back, and they'll get slaughtered, and then they'll go run in their homes, and then America comes in and bombs the hell out of them, and they're partying on the streets. But hey, guys, hello, we're taking down this leadership, so you got a shot at taking back control of your country. Let's go. So it's weird. It's weird, right? Will they do it? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. So we'll see. Now, will it be a quagmire like it was in, Iraq? No, absolutely not. We're not going to do that. President Trump is playing this like a maestro, right? And this is going to work out somehow, some way. I don't know. Maybe we're just going to bomb these guys into oblivion, and then they'll be like, "Did you kill them all? Okay, now we can go and take over." All right. I don't know. So, you would think that, guys, you need to get in charge now so that you still have some of your industry left, and so you still have some of your oil left, and you can make yourselves rich and prosperous and never have to worry about this ever again, and learn from the mistake of never letting these Shia jackasses ever come back, right? So it's common sense shit, but there's not a lot of common sense over there, guys. All right, so we're going to see how this works out. Will somebody step up and, with some common sense? It happens. I don't know. Right. So we'll see. All right. Now, this is very important. Silver. All right. So a lot of you guys are like, you always talk about silver, Mike. It's like, well, I thought about that. It's like silver is very important. It is now surpassed the stock market. So I've been telling you guys, take some of your money in the stock market and roll it over into silver. If you don't do that, because silver is now going to outperform, and it did massively outperform the stock market the last 2 years. Massively. Hello. All right. So come on, guys. Get with the program so we can be prosperous going forward. A lot of you guys are going to keep your money in the stock market. You're going to get obliterated. Right? So start moving your money over to silver, because whether you want to or not, you're going to, or you're just going to lose everything. Now, I know a lot of you ladies out there have been telling me over the years that you're basically trying, tell your hard-headed analytical husbands to do this. Some of them eventually wake up and have done this, but very pantyhose-like, right? So you men need to get your panties off and let your cojones come out and start to focus on your intuition, right? Be like Mike, be intuitive and analytical, right? So if you don't, you're going to get destroyed, because the money's going to get sucked out of the stock market and it's going to go into silver gold, right? There's a lot of money in the stock market right now, and the transitioning is happening into silver and gold. Get into it, guys. Don't F around. And you ladies out there, if your dumbass husbands don't have an intuitive bone in their body, get your money and put it into gold and silver, right? silver ideally now, and then eventually into gold. Now, I know a lot of you ladies have listened to me because your husbands are hard-headed, rock-headed, but try and teach them intuition. Maybe don't try. It's not going to work. You know it's not going to work. Either they get it or they don't at this point. All right, so tell them to go to Mike's Unleashing Intuition site and start with the intuition courses. All right, slowly wake them up. It's like, oh, this Navy SEAL did all this stuff. Oh my God. It's like, yeah, do the meditations. Meditate. I've never meditated. Yeah, you're going to meditate. You're going to learn. You're going to learn. I'm going to learn you. All right. So I'm a badass but I'm a meditator, and I'm even more of a badasser because I meditate. Right. So my life is a meditation. And I have a wife that's like even more out there than I am. So it's like, I try to catch up sometimes. They're like, you know, that stuff you were talking about 10 years ago? Now I get it. So you ladies got it. For a long time, men were like, only women do intuition. But now you men can get it, and you better get it. All right. You better get it. All right. Or you're going to get hammered. All right. Period. All right. So, it's already turning. It's a long-term process, guys. In the last turnings where silver and gold outperformed the stock market, let me see. I'll give you the numbers. If I can find them. All right. So down. All right. So far, the ratio, silver to Dow ratio, has gained only 255%. Now, your portfolio, if you have your portfolio for 10, 15 years, and you got that kind of return, over 10 or 15 years, you're like, you think your shit don't stink, right? But very few people get that kind of turnover, right? Now, during this time frame, back in the 70s to 80s, there was a period of time where it went up. Your comparison was 2,043%. So that was the first secular bull market. So secular meaning money came out of the stock market, went into silver and gold, right? 2,043% surge. Now, the next secular bull market, which was during the Great Recession, I'd say depression, but anyway, recession, housing collapse, blah blah blah, stock market collapse. The increase was 775%. So if you take the both of them and average them together, it's like 1,409% increase. Wow! All right. Now this one is going to blow both of those away, I believe, right? And so do a lot of other people. We will see over $500 silver, probably a lot higher. I'm being conservative at this point, I believe, and $20,000 an ounce gold. I'm being conservative on that too, I believe. All right, so this secular bull market that we're in right now started in April of 2024. They normally last 8 to 10 years. So we've only got a couple years, guys. So it's still it's still early in the game here for, really getting incredible returns on your money. All right, so if you still have money in the stock market, which I know a lot of you do, you're going to get spanked, right? In the Dow to silver ratio. You already got spanked the last 2 years when I've been jumping up and down saying, get into silver, right? And of course, I believe the best way is with Dr. Kirk Elliott. So the link is right in the description box. So today, silver was up. Pulled back a little bit. It passed $90. That's a little sticky point, 90 before we go to 100. So it kind of pulled back to 88. Right now, it's back to 89, starting to pull back up again. Gold is doing really well. Platinum, palladium, both doing really well. Bitcoin bounced. Stock market bounced yesterday, and it was up kind of good today, but then it pulled back at the end. So we may see this puppy, it could be a dead cat bounce. for the stock market. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Regardless, if you don't get into silver, you're going to be hating life. All right. Now, General Dan Kane delivers update on Operation Epic Fury. 5,000 targets have been hit. 5,000. Oh my God. That's crazy. They're so effective. They're way ahead of schedule. Now, today, according to Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, because you want to have that kind of focus. Defensive always is you're setting yourself up for someone else's offensive moves and you're going to get destroyed. So you want to be offensive, so you're a warrior, right? So the Department of War, Pete Hegseth said today was going to be the biggest strikes of the war yet. That doesn't mean they're going to start to go down after this. It means today we're hitting them hard in there. Tomorrow we're going to hit them harder again. So every day that they refuse to surrender unconditionally is going to be a hammer blow. And you know that we're hunting, little boy. He's in his 50s or 60s, whatever old he is. But the boy that basically took over for father. You're my father. So you're going to die. You're going to die unless you give up, right? If you give up, maybe you get to go somewhere and live the rest of your life. I don't know, Russia or something. But if you don't, you're going to die, right? And that's the way it's going to be. And then the next person is going to be like, I don't want to be the leader. So you're going to be the leader or we're going to kill you. Oh, well, I'm going to die or I'm going to die. So I guess I'm going to be a leader. Right? So that's the way it's going to roll. Right. So these guys are on their last legs. This is going to end for them badly if they continue to just try and stay in power. I don't know. I hope the Iranian people rise up. And we've heard that a lot of generals are turning. They're refusing to follow orders and they're turning. Okay, we'll turn and start to kick the guys that still want to fight, kick their ass. And let's get this show over with so you guys can get rich, right? So you're going to die otherwise. So might as well just kick their ass and then you can be rich or you can watch everybody else from the grave, right? So get rich. All right, so that's the way it's going to be for these guys. I look forward to seeing them do amazing things in the future, which they're going to do. All right, it's only a matter of time. So remember, Shiites have to go bye-bye. All right, those Shiites, Shia, they're not good. They're not good. All right, and they're only a small percentage. Only a small percentage are Muslims, although that's probably like 50 million or something crazy. I don't know.